Hello and welcome to our catalog launch party. I'm Dorene Decibus and I'm from It Begins with Ink and Paper, and I hope you tuned in and watched Leslie's presentation earlier tonight at 6. I do have the link on my my Facebook page. So if you haven't seen it yet, you should be able to find it. Tonight we have been focusing on sweets, so we could say it's sweet night, which is kind of a fun way to think about this. So Leslie showed you the Bright and Beautiful suite, which is just such a fun suite, and I am going to focus tonight on the Zoo Crew suite. I have to tell you, when I first saw the catalog, the first thing that popped out to me was this llama sitting in a chair knitting. It just made me laugh, and I realized that I don't have enough whimsical stamp sets, so I had to get this. We all need to have some whimsy in our life, and this suite definitely gives us that whimsy. So this suite is found on pages 46 and 47 of our new annual catalog. The suite comes with the stamp set, the dies, and there are lots of different dies that I'm going to talk about tonight. It comes with a 2 different colors of ribbon. It comes with a designer series paper as well. The first thing I do want to point out to you, and if you might be able to notice that I have put a rectangle in red around the price of the suite, put some arrows to remind me that there is a misprint with the price of the suite. Now, you might be groaning and thinking, okay, how much is it really? Well, it's actually, this price is higher than the price of the suite. The price of the suite is actually $76.50. So that is a little bit of a savings based on what's in the catalog. I'm going to show you the paper in a minute, the designer series paper. It is so much fun. The catalog has some beautiful samples. It even uses the designer series paper as wrapping paper and creates a really cute birthday tag with the images from this suite. As Leslie mentioned to you last night, and I also mentioned to you last night during my catalog tour, the other thing I thought of right away was Lyle the Crocodile. If you're familiar with that children's story, it was actually, he was my favorite character as I was growing up. And my parents recently passed away, and as we were cleaning their house and packing everything up, we came upon an area in my parents' bedroom, and there were 4 of us siblings, and my mother kept each of our favorite books. And it was such a special thing to be able to bring home my original copy of Lyle the Crocodile. Okay, so let's get started. So let's start by taking a look at the designer series paper. So the first thing I wanted to mention to you, and I'll mention this to you before I close up the catalog, I want to talk to you about the colors that you are going to find in this suite. So this suite is pretty colorful. It has a lot of images on the designer series paper. It also has a section of the designer series paper that you're going to see is a pretty nice neutral color. So of course I just lost the page, so I'm going back. I just need to turn one more page and I'm there. So the colors that all of these images are going to be coordinating with are Petal Pink, Pumpkin Pie, Lemon Lime Twist, which is a returning color, Pool Party, Crumb Cake, and Basic Black. So as we look at the designer series paper, the first thing you're going to notice are all these really really nice images. They're so whimsical and fun. And this paper does have some dies, like we have the skunk die that you can cut out, or you can fussy cut some of these. So this is the first design. There are 6 different pattern papers with one design on the front and another on the back. And as I said before, the back has all black and white designs. So this is just a floral design with some small flowers. The next paper has some of the different animals again. We have a fox on a little scooter, the alligator, crocodile. We have a swan on skates, a rabbit on a little scooter. They are just so adorable. And again, we have some dies that match this, or you could fussy cut. The back side of this design, let me just turn it over, is this chevron-like pattern of black and white. One of the things I thought of with this designer series paper is I'm going to take half of the package and just use the black and white side, and I'm going to take the other half of the package and use the designs and use the different images. One of the things I loved about this paper, and it was when I actually saw the raccoon here and was making, I just love the raccoon as well, and I've made several cards with it, is that I love how this paper has given me permission to not color in an image fully. And we can see that here with the elephant. We only have the banner colored in, just the balloons with the raccoon. In some cases with the koala bear, we've colored it all in. So we have these whimsical images, and then on the back we have a black background with circles that have stars in them that are white. So fun. Here we have, and this made me laugh too, we have a sloth that's doing yoga. I mean, how funny is that? We've got a bear reading, we have the llama knitting, we have a hedgehog painting, just so many different fun, whimsical characters. And here we have a black background with a white squiggle background, with a white squiggle design. On this one we have a frog playing the flute, we have a turtle singing, we have the banjo going, we have an accordion going, we have a beaver with the little drums, just so much fun. And then in the back we have a polka dot pattern. Here's our dancing page of designer series paper. We have a hippo in a tutu, we have a leopard, we have a sheep, so we have a reindeer dancing, so we have all of these fun images, and on the back side we have an abstract black and white pattern. So much fun. So it wouldn't be alive for me if I'm not stamping, so I have to do some stamping tonight. So let me show you the stamp set and dies before I start my project. And so we have the Zany Zoo set. It is a cling stamp set, so it's made of the red rubber. Inside we have a set of dies. We have a label die. We have this die that along with this will make a curtain. I haven't made a card yet with that, but I will be. So watch my Facebook page. This week I'm not posting a card today because we're so busy working on our catalog launch, but I do post a new card sample every single day, and you will see some samples from here. But you have some addition. You have the different dies that cut out the different images. But we have a tree die. We actually have 2 of those. We have little flowers. We have a little stool, clouds. We have flowers. We have balloons. We have a vase. So there's a lot going on with the dies in this. There are actually 20 dies altogether. And then we have our red rubber stamps that I've already taken one of the stamps out that I'm going to use tonight. So here we have the beauty. I love red rubber stamping. Leslie showed you the Bright and Beautiful Designer Series paper tonight. I am going to be using a piece in the stamping that I'm doing. The one thing I really like about the Designer Series paper is that it has three brand new colors, and then all the other colors are returning colors. So every paper in here is going to have one of the new colors in it. So that's pretty exciting. I'm going to be using basic black ink with the Memento, and I'm going to be using 2 punches. One punch is a new punch. It's the 2 3/8 inch punch, and the other one is the decorative circle punch. So I'll be using all of those with my stamping tonight. So let's get started. So I have here a piece of the Azure Afternoon Designer Series paper. It is such a pretty blue. I have to say, you know, blues are one of my favorite colors, and I'm so excited that in our new catalog we have such great blues now. I am going to be using this piece of Designer Series paper on the top, and you can see how it coordinates nicely and gives us an entire rainbow of colors. I'm going to be using the Lemon Lolly Designer Series paper to punch out my 2 3/8 inch circle. So I'll do that right now to get that ready. Just using a scrap of paper. I keep my scraps all over the place so that I can be ready to use them. So this one I knew would fit that circle. And then with my decorative circle punch, I am going to cut out a piece of basic white cardstock. Now, I want to show you a little hint with these 2 punches. They can layer on each other, and it layers in a really nice way. So you can see that this is going to go right over my piece of Lemon Lolly, and it's going to just give a little bit of a decorative edge around it. So it's a really nice way to add some color without throwing a whole bunch of color in. So let me just get my... So I'm going to start by layering this on top. There we go. That's ready now. And I'm just going to take some of my Stampin' Seal and add this piece of Designer Series paper to the front of the card. I don't even feel I need a piece of cardstock behind it. There is so much color in this piece of Designer Series paper, and it really picks up on the blue from the cardstock itself. This piece is going to be going inside my card so that I have a place to add some embellishment and to add some die-cut images. Now, I do want to show you, I'm going to be actually using our white baker's twine for this card tonight, but this suite also comes with, as I told you, that duo ribbon combo, and we have a petal pink, and we have the lemon lime twist. So this is really a nice combo to use, and it goes with this paper really well too, so something to think about. All right, next I need to get out my die for my alligator, crocodile, whatever you want to call them. And I want to show you one of my favorite stamp tools. So I have the alligator crocodile die right here, and I am going to, on my paper here, my stamp pad, I'm going to line up my die. And I have something here that's called Post-it labeling and cover-up tape. So it's like a Post-it note, but it's tape. And I use this when I am running something through the die cut machine. It allows me to line up the die the way it needs to be, and hold it in place while I'm running it through the die cut machine. So I have already cut this out just to save us a little bit of time tonight. And here is the image. And like I said, I used it exactly like I did here. And this is going to go on this tag. So this will be just like that. I also die cut ahead of time the tag that is in, and I die cut a bunch of the flowers that we're going to be using. So now we are ready to start putting this all together. So I'm going to start with stamping my wish, and it's just happy birthday to you. So I'm going to stamp this in Memento Black right onto my tag. There we go. And I am going to attach using a glue dot. I told you I was going to use my baker's twine. I don't always like to be tying a bow when I'm live, so I often tie those a little bit in advance. So here we have our happy birthday tag. I'm going to be adding this right to the upper right corner of our card. So I'm just going to add a little bit of seal and put that right in the corner. I do want the designer series paper to be seen around it. So there's our first part of our card all done. I am going to use dimensionals to add my alligator or my friend Lyle to this tag. I see that the tail sticks off, so I'm just going to make sure I don't put a dimensional there. But because this is only designer series paper, it's not the heavy weight as cardstock is. I want to make sure I have several dimensionals on to hold this die up. So let me take off the backing. So Leslie and I, on our Facebook pages, we both do weekly videos. Leslie does a Tuesday night live, and I do a Friday night live. I do a Fun Filled Friday. Leslie does a lot of things with her time. She shares lots of ideas and techniques and hints. So it's something that both of our channels have a lot to share with people. So please check it out during the week. Not this week is a little different, but okay. So now we have our crocodile riding across the page, and now it's time to add some flowers. So I am going to start by putting I think I'm just going to start putting a little adhesive on the back of these flowers, and I'm going to put a large one up in the left hand corner, and I'm going to put 2 of the small ones in the right hand corner. Just start moving these around. If I don't know if you noticed, but the basket on Lyle's bike has flowers in it, so I thought this would be a fun, whimsical way to add some interest to the card. So we've got our fun flowers there to start, and what I'm going to do is take from our adhesive back solid gems. I am going to use the blue ones. Let me just find my scissors, and I'm going to actually add these to the center of the flowers. So the center of the flower actually die cuts out. So they come in 3 different sizes. And it just makes it fun. And I'll put the large one here. There we go. So that's what the front of our card looks like. And I want to carry this daisy or floral scene inside the card. So I'm going to add 3 of these. So I'm going to start with a large one and then kind of go around the corner with these small ones. And there we go. So in the front, we have our happy birthday to you. We have our adorable crocodile. We have some flowers and the beautiful, bright and beautiful paper. So that's the card I wanted to make with you tonight. But I also have made some cards previously. And so I want to share those with you. So first, as I said, the first thing that jumped out at me before I saw the crocodile was this llama that was sewing. So I actually, for this, used both sides of the designer series paper. I cut out the llama using the die provided. I cut out the vase, the little table, one of the tiny flowers. I used the happy birthday to you. I used the black backside. This is Lost Lagoon paper. It's one of the returning colors. And I'll just bring this up a little closer so that you can see the front of this card. It's just adorable, especially that little vase and the little table. I will tell you that when I use dies that are that small, I actually put my Post-it note tape right over it. So not only does it hold it in place where I want it to cut, but when I'm done cutting, the tape is holding the die in place so I don't lose that die. So we have that card. Then I have several with the raccoon because I just love the raccoon. This paper uses our black and white checkered ribbon. I use the same technique with the 2 punches to make my circle, and I colored the balloons. This card base is petal pink, so I colored the balloons using my blends with the petal pink, and then I decided to put his mask in petal pink as well. So another cute card. With this card here, I made the designer series paper the star of the card. So I used the chevron for the background, and it's put all on top of the front of the card. I have the piece of designer series paper that I cut in 1-inch strips and added to it. Added some of the stylish shaped circles with the greeting. Added some of the black baker's twine. And then on the inside, for a little surprise, I put more of that chevron paper, and I added a die cut of the cute little skunk. The next card, I actually did it in 2 different colors. I was trying to decide what color I liked. I used the petal pink ribbon that's in the bundle, the combo. I used the raccoon, just colored in the balloons. I did a 1-sheet wonder, and I don't know if you're not familiar with that. It's taking a full sheet of cardstock and just randomly stamping your pattern and then cutting it out to fit the front of your card. So I cut it out into 4 pieces, 4 panels, and then I cut those into strips as well. I layered it on both of these onto the Lemon Lolly. The back of the card is the bubblegum pink, so it's the bubble bath. Sorry, I didn't mean to say bubblegum, bubble bath. The colors I used on the front are the bubble bath, the balmy blue, lemon, no, excuse me, parakeet party, and lemon lolly, along with tranquil tide. And I just stamped the balloons randomly. On this one, I had used the label, the decorative label with the pink, and just stamped the pink as well, and used the yellow dots. And on this one, I stamped the lolly, the lemon lolly, onto the circle and used the blue dots. So they're the same card, they just have a little different pattern. This card here, I'm using the Subtles Designer Series paper pack and used 2 designs. And then I took the basic embossing folders that you only find as an online exclusive on our website, and I used the dots to emboss the lemon lolly, and then I added the bling, some twine, and colored the ribbons to match the colors that I used here. And finally, it wouldn't be me without a fun fold. So this is an accordion fold card. So let me just move these out. I used a combination of stamping. I used the double circle again. I used the balloon dies. I have Bubble Bath and Lost Lagoon. And here I have the little koala bear. And when you open this up, you can see how I use the Designer Series paper and the Lost Lagoon and Basic Black. If I hold this up, you can see how it's an accordion fold. It does stand up, and I will have a video posted on Friday on my Facebook page and my YouTube channel where I show you how to make this style of accordion fold. So be ready to join me. So it's a really delightfully easy card. So those are my samples from the Zoo Crew. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation on the Zoo Crew suite and are inspired to try this bundle and suite out. Tomorrow night we start at 6 again, and tomorrow night is bundle night. So we are going to be focusing on 2 bundles from the catalog. As I said, tonight was Sweet Night, tomorrow night's bundle night, and then Friday night is color night. So we'll be focusing on the new in colors and the color refresh. So I hope you're able to join us. If you're not able to join us, you can find a copy of this video on both of our YouTube channels. The link will be on Leslie's, and I'll have the actual video, and you'll be able to find the replay on my Facebook page as well. So thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow night. Good night, everybody.